So Guillermo Rigondeaux quits against Vasyl Lomachenko. What can I say? This was a very interesting fight. This was a classic case of Rigondeaux being way too overly defensive and not willing enough to let his hands go because of the danger of being countered by Vasyl Lomachenko. The first round was a draw. No one did anything. It was very, hard to score that round. I gave it to no one because I thought it was a draw. But from like rounds 2 to round 6, Rigondeaux was just being overly defensive and he was really pot shotting. While Vasyl Lomachenko, he wasn't really landing. He wasn't really landing cleanly because it's very difficult to hit Guillermo Rigondeaux cleanly because he's such a good elusive type of fighter. He knows how to pivot to the right and to the left. He knows how to slip punches. Just like Mayweather, just like Pernell Whitaker did in his prime. So it was very difficult for Vasyl Lomachenko to hit cleanly, and he was making him miss a lot. But the point is, he was winning rounds like that. In a sense, you could say he was outclassing Guillermo Rigondeaux. Again, Guillermo Rigondeaux was doing phenomenal when it came to when it came to being defensive and not getting hit, but he needed to be more offensive. I know they claim that he broke his hand, but I think he quit because the round that he quit, they took a point away from Rigondeaux. Because throughout the fight, Rigondeaux, it seemed like his game plan was to hold Vasyl Lomachenko whenever he got close. Because every time, literally from like rounds 1 to round 6 to the round he quit, every time Lomachenko got in close, he would hold Vasyl Lomachenko. I guess because he wanted to prevent him from exchanging. I guess his game plan was I'm gonna counter you, but when you come in close, I know you're gonna try to let your combinations go, so I'm gonna hold on to you and not let your punches go. But that didn't work. Vasyl Lomachenko was frustrating Rigondeaux with his work rate. He was just way too. And one thing I noticed is Vasyl Lomachenko, he did get clipped a few times with Rigondeaux's right hand, but Rigondeaux could not hurt Vasyl Lomachenko at all. I didn't see Rigondeaux. I didn't see Vasyl Lomachenko hurt at all. But in the same token, I really didn't see Rigondeaux hurt with Vasyl Lomachenko. This wasn't the most entertaining fight, but it's expected. Again, you can't really blame Vasyl Lomachenko though. Although I picked Rigondeaux, you can't blame Vasyl Lomachenko. It was really kind of negative because of Rigondeaux. He wasn't letting his hands go enough. I think the reason Rigondeaux quit was because in the round that he quit, round 6, first of all, he was getting outclassed in that round. And Vasyl Lomachenko was starting to mock him. And in that round, the referee, Steve Wallace, took away a point. So I think Guillermo Rigondeaux maybe felt, okay, now there's no way I'm going to win this fight. So he just quit. He's claimed that he had a broken hand, but a broken left hand, it looks like, but I don't believe that. Vasyl Lomachenko officially made Guillermo Rigondeaux quit. A lot of boxing fans are not going to lose respect for Rigondeaux. A lot of people felt like Rigondeaux might have been the only one. It's funny because a lot of people were going around saying Rigondeaux was the one that is going to defeat and dethrone Vasyl Lomachenko. Rigondeaux is the one that, is Vasyl Lomachenko's biggest threat. A lot of boxing fans were going around saying that Vasyl Lomachenko was ducking Rigondeaux. I always knew he wasn't ducking him. That's why I made videos saying he's not ducking him and the fight's going to happen. And look at what ends up happening. All these boxing fans talking about that Rigondeaux was the one ducking. Vasyl Lomachenko was ducking Rigondeaux. Yet, the one who quit was Rigondeaux. So it's kind of like he ends up being the coward, if you get what I'm saying. So yeah, very disgraceful move from Rigondeaux. He basically pulled a Nicholas Walters. From Rigondeaux, he pulled him Nicholas Walters. Nicholas Walters was in the same position. He was getting outclassed and he quit. And it was really the same case with Guillermo Rigondeaux. I think he felt like they took away a point from him. There's no way he's going to win this fight. And he was already losing the fight. I had him down by like 5 rounds. I only gave him maybe the first round, maybe. Actually, I didn't even give him a round. I had to draw the first round. But he quit against Vasyl Lomachenko. Now, he had a hard time getting fights in networks and getting anyone to fight him. Now no one's gonna want to fight him because now they're gonna look at him as a quitter. A lot of people don't like Guillermo Rigondeaux, and now they're gonna you know, shit on him all over again. They're gonna talk even more shit about him because now he quit. So now they're gonna label him as a quitter. I'm very impressed by Vasyl Lomachenko. The commentators were acting like Vasyl Lomachenko's unbeatable. I get it. He's like supposed to be this unbeatable fighter, but no fighter is unbeatable. I believe the way to beat Vasyl Lomachenko is to go on the inside against him and rough him up. But again, Vasyl Lomachenko just was outworking him, and the biggest problem Rigondeaux had was not only the size difference, was not only the fact that he was getting outworked, but the fact that he wasn't being offensive enough. He needed to be more offensive. But again, I think he was too afraid to be more offensive because he knew if he had been more offensive, he would have been countered by Vasyl Lomachenko. It was funny. Every time Guillermo Rigondeaux would pivot and dodge punches from Vasyl Lomachenko, Vasyl Lomachenko would like try and mimic him. Because you know how Vasyl Lomachenko always like taunts his opponents. He was trying to do that. And it's funny. And so yeah, I have to congratulate Vasyl Lomachenko. He just beat a pound for pound king. A lot of people regard Guillermo Rigondeaux as a pound for pound king, and he just pretty much schooled him, and he made him quit. Of course, there's going to be excuses that he was naturally the bigger man, and he was the bigger man. And also the age difference. Guillermo Rigondeaux is much older than Vasyl Lomachenko, who's much younger. But I think even if Guillermo Rigondeaux was in the same weight division, even if he was a younger fighter, I think talent-wise, skill-wise, it would have been difficult for him because he's like a one-pot shot type of fighter. And because Vasyl Lomachenko is the Energizer Bunny, he would have been always basic. He would have always outworked him. But yeah, I expect tomorrow there to be a lot of people shitting all over Rigondeaux. I expect a whole bunch of channels to be talking shit about Rigondeaux. I 100% expect that because a lot of channels don't like him. And now they're really going to talk shit about him because he quit. But, you know, that's expected. You know what to expect with boxing fans. So, yeah, this was easy work for Vasyl Lomachenko. I want to see him move up now. I want to see Vasyl Lomachenko move up or unify with the other champions. Like, unify with that Alberto dude that fought that Corrales dude like 2 months ago. And, yeah, Rigondeaux should just retire now because now he's never going to get big fights, you know. Now that he quit, they're going to like him even less. So, yeah, Rigondeaux let his fans down big time. Like, a lot of people were rooting for Rigondeaux. Rigondeaux let his fans down big time. So, yeah. Congrats to Vasyl Lomachenko.